Scientists are discussing the situation on the planet. Countries are concerned about the buildup of military power and the development of prohibited types of weapons. It turns out that this recording is being broadcast in an underground bunker. The system is triggered and one of the chambers opens. Mechanic Bauer comes out and examines the equipment. The second chamber is activated, and a man named Cartwright asks to be let out quickly. However, his partner reminds him that a sharp transition to normal air can have a bad effect on his body. Finally, everything is balanced and the chamber opens. Bauer complains that some of the equipment is already failing. The weather above is unchanged. The air is toxic, as always. Cartwright checks the computer reports. Other labs have checked in, but the general network is not configured for direct communication, and the internet has long been gone. Bauer is very skeptical about the surface. Everyone there has long been dead, but Cartwright is determined to conscientiously carry out the task assigned to them. Today, he draws attention to the message about the seismic danger. Bauer reminds that if there had been a leak, they would have died long ago. Today, they need to inspect the equipment. Cartwright is inspecting the cameras. Bauer is fixing something, and Cartwright is inspecting the devices. Suddenly, a woman appears nearby, asking if his partner is driving him crazy. But the man only laughs. He is already used to it. Then Bauer reminds them that they need to run diagnostics, and the woman asks why Cartwright has not told his partner about them yet. He promises to do it soon, and Bauer hears this answer. The man is surprised because there are only two of them here. He does not understand Cartwright's interest in sleeping people at all. They resemble the dead. But he says that everyone in the bunker is the best scientists and specialists. They are the hope for the revival of humanity. But Bauer gets even more irritated. He is tired of the monotony. Their whole life is a dream and tests. But Cartwright does not support his anger, and his partner has to shut up. Later, Bauer once again watches a football match, while his colleague reads an old log with records of exits to the surface. If they combine the time of dispersion by the wind, the concentration of the pollutant, then they can visit the surface relatively safely. But Bauer does not listen to his friend. He is much more interested in what is happening on the screen. Cartwright is delighted because, judging by the records, the surface will become safe in at least 20 years. But Bauer believes that it will take at least a century. At this time, a message is heard from the screen about the bombing of major cities of the world with a nuclear chemical bomb. Bauer remembers this message verbatim and comments on it. However, then a reminder is heard about preparing for another dream. Cartwright restarts the equipment and prepares sleepy cocktails, and at this time the woman appears again, who promises that they will soon be together. Cartwright asks her not to interfere with his work, but at this moment he smells smoke, and suddenly he sees that one of the capsules is burning. The men put out the fire, but then the lights in the bunker suddenly go out and the air gauge shows low levels. The men climb up to the oxygen distribution section. Cartwright finds a valve, but his partner forbids him to touch it. It will let in toxic air from outside. Instead, they need to go to the emergency reserve valve. The men try to open it, but nothing happens. The valve is jammed. For a while, they just sit there, realizing what happened. Suddenly, Bauer admits that he had a wife and daughters. He lied to management to get the job because he didn't believe the end of the world would come, and they stayed on the surface. Suddenly, the lights turn on and air starts flowing. The backup valve worked after all. The men understand that they need to check the entire network and find spare parts. Cartwright leads his partner to the wall where a plan of a long-term warehouse is posted, prepared in case the sleepers wake up. They have never been there, but the parts could well be in this room. The couple goes there. Bauer compares the warehouse to some kind of cave. Everything here is so old and abandoned, but suddenly they hear some kind of sound. The men go into the darkness, and Cartwright finds a camera from an old security system. The men split up and begin to explore these rooms. Bauer finds a collection of records, and Cartwright finds the necessary parts. Now they can go to sleep. Bauer suggests that his partner go to bed first, but he wants to conduct another diagnostic of the cameras. Then Bauer lies down in his cell, offering to check the systems on him. The capsule closes, and at first everything goes fine. Suddenly, Bauer notices that there is less air. He asks to check the blower. Cartwright goes to the control panel and suddenly starts to panic. He asks his friend to let him out, but he doesn't respond. Suddenly, the camera tissue tightly grabs Bauer and starts to choke him. He thrashes inside the plastic cover until he goes quiet. Then Cartwright runs in and rips the shell. His partner comes to his senses and expresses his suspicion. Cartwright specifically wanted to kill him, but he reminds him that this is his camera. He was supposed to be lying there, but now they only have one camera and they will have to swap. Bauer starts examining the cameras with people, offering to throw out some of them. An indignant Cartwright refuses because they are here specifically so that these people can survive. Bauer insists and offers to administer a dose of poison to the sleeping humans to simply turn off their brain. Suddenly, Abby appears next to Cartwright again, asking him not to do this because there is another way. Cartwright refuses to kill the man, and then Bauer hits him. A fight breaks out between the men, which Cartwright wins. Bauer provokes him, but his partner says he has an idea. However, he can't do it alone and shows Bauer the matching codes. There is another lab, and it is located very close to their bunker. And there are obviously people and spare parts for the cameras there. Of course, there is a risk, but if everything is done correctly, everyone will be saved. Cartwright puts on a protective suit and goes out into the common corridor. Bauer helps him navigate over the radio. The man makes his way through the corridors. Then he sees strange blue dust. Bauer calls it a pollutant and hurries his partner because the suit is only designed for 30 minutes. Suddenly, Bauer sees his friend on the monitors. The old cameras are still working. He gives directions, although he himself cannot figure out what and where is. After some time, Cartwright finds the entrance to the base, on the door of which the number of sleeping people is indicated 108. However, the doors open with great difficulty, the lights do not come on, and there is silence all around. Cartwright tries to reach his colleagues, but no one responds. Abby appears again nearby, asking him not to give up. Bauer directs him in the direction where, according to the plan, there is another entrance. Cartwright follows this instruction and finds an old air duct. He climbs inside and makes his way forward. Suddenly, he stumbles upon human corpses, but Bauer reassures him that if they died outside, the ventilation is still sealed. Cartwright goes further and soon reaches the central filter, but suddenly he realizes that something is wrong. He stumbles into the lab, but there is no light inside and it looks like no one lives here. The man walks around this room and sees daylight, but later he realizes that there is no roof over the room. The man looks out into the hole and sees a dead city. He goes back down and realizes that the lab perished a long time ago. Their computer system reported that all workers at the neighboring facility were alive and well, to make the others believe that they were not alone and to keep the mechanics from going crazy. Bauer decides that the entire computer system is a lie and that no one can be trusted. Cartwright tries to make sense of it all, but Abby appears and assures him that he is not alone and that they will be together soon. The man goes back, but when he reaches the airlock door, the man sees Bauer on the other side. He reviewed the security footage and realized that Cartwright was standing next to him the whole time until he almost suffocated in his cell. Bauer realizes that his partner tried to kill him and changed his mind only at the last moment. Now he intends to keep him out. Cartwright realizes that Bauer is going crazy and leaves, although his air is almost gone. Abby appears again nearby, showing him the way to the air duct leading to their bunker. At this time, Bauer accuses him of betrayal. Cartwright still manages to get inside. Then he takes off his suit. He goes to the lab, but Bauer meets him with a gun. He shoots, but misses in the darkness. Cartwright apologizes for not being able to free him from strangulation right away, but he did not do it on purpose. However, Bauer does not believe him and intends to kill him first. He searches for his partner in the dark, but Cartwright manages to get to the medical bay and load a syringe with a potent poison from the first aid kit. Abby encourages him and asks him to do it first, otherwise the crazy Bauer will shoot him. Cartwright goes to the lab. Bauer wounds him with a shot in the chest. Cartwright begins to assure Abby that he will not leave her. Bauer reacts to this with surprise because there is no one here except them. A chase throughout the base begins. Cartwright hides. Bauer goes around the cells with the sleeping people and suddenly recognizes Abby in one of them from a photograph. Now he understands why Cartwright needed this job so much. That's why he didn't want to kill any of the sleeping people. Bauer with a gun calls his partner to come out, threatening to kill his wife. Cartwright sneaks up on the man in the dark and manages to inject him with a large dose of poison. Bauer accepts his fate and lies down in the cell. Finally, he asks Cartwright to take care of his wife and then loses consciousness. Time passes, and one day a much-aged Cartwright wakes up for another check of the equipment. The man sees how the system automatically awakens all the sleeping people. People come out of their cells and Abby is among them. The couple is finally reunited and the air on the surface is breathable again.